Hi, this is Kristen Powell with Usborne Books and More, here to share with you titles for your 8 years old and up. My oldest is 9 years old and I have a 7-year-old. Both of them are boys, so I'm a little heavy on the boy side, but I'm going to feature some girl titles. So let's take a look, let's get going. I'm going to start with my favorite collection for the 9 years old and up crowd. This also works for middle schoolers. This is nonfiction, part of our Discovery Adventures collection. We have quite a few titles. Let's start with Deadly Animals. My 9-year-old loves this book. It's nonfiction. There's 72 full-color glossy pages in here. It is packed with chunks of nonfiction information. Just will draw in even the most disinterested reader with all of the beautiful visuals in this book. Also, for your disinterested readers, there are comic strips at the end of every section. And I want to make sure that I point out to all the concerned moms in the room, did you see kind of the graphic nature of this comic strip? That's a true story about a biologist who was attacked by a crocodile. So these are designed for 9 years old and up. So I don't leave these around for my 4-year-olds to thumb through. But, you know, my 9-year-old, he loves that stuff. And your older kids and middle schoolers, they're going to love that too. Isn't this cool how this page goes up and down this way? 72 pages, like I said, and then in the back there's glossary and index and then quick links. And in our books that have quick links, it means that when you go to our website and you type in Deadly Animals, or you could type in survival, it's going to pull up a ton of videos and complementary information that will build on what your child has learned as they have read these nonfiction books. These have these really nice pages. They have a flexi cover, so they're going to survive in your child's room. So they're $8.99. We have a bunch of titles. We have cycling, extreme sports, fighter planes. We have helicopters, special forces, spying. So Discovery Adventures is what you're going to be looking for when it's time to shop. Speaking of survival, we have more nonfiction survival information. This is a paperback book, not very many pictures in here. Okay, so this is going to be for 4th, 5th, and middle school reading level. These are our True Stories series. We also have True Stories Polar Adventures, and these are $4.99 paperback. I'm going to show you the rest of the titles we have in this collection. These are going to be high interest topics for your child, and then a little bit of an easier reading level for a middle schooler. So this is a good bet if you have someone you'd like to capture their attention and get them reading. And it's nonfiction true stories. While we're talking about survival, that's so popular right now with the older elementary schoolers and the middle schoolers. So of course we have a fiction option, and I don't have any to show you in real life, but here we are in the catalog. These are called the Extreme Adventures collection, and it's about a boy named Sam who manages to be in close encounters with crocodiles and spiders and scorpions. These are written for 9 to 12-year-olds, and they're also really affordable at $4.99 for a paperback. So that's a fun collection if you have a survival fan at your house like I do at mine. Now, maybe you have girls, and they're not into that, but we have some girl fiction too, and I want to show you. And I'm sorry I don't have them right here to show you, but Penny Dreadful. So she's kind of like the Amelia Bedelia of the modern day. She's always getting into some funny little situation. These are for 8 years old and up. And then these are recommended for 7 years old. Fairy Ponies. I mean, when I was 7, Fairy Ponies, I probably would have been all over that. Actually, I probably would have been all over that when I was 10. But it's about a little girl who goes to visit her aunt in England, and she finds little tiny fairy ponies living in the garden, and it's all about their adventures of the ponies. How fun. So let's go back to nonfiction, because kids love nonfiction, and Usborne is known for its nonfiction. This is the story of inventions. We have the story of science and a couple other titles in this collection. Again, full color, glossy pages throughout. This book is going to be for 4th, 5th, and into middle school. Will capture their attention. Lots of information. And I love how Usborne designs their books. As you can see, big chunks of text here, but it's not all text. And so they break it up with these great, brilliant illustrations, icons and little cartoons on the side that reinforce what your child's learning in the main part of the information. And so children love to read this way. They love to learn this way. They'll just flip through this book and soak up this information. And the level of information here is pretty sophisticated. Even my husband and I learn new things from these Usborne books. So that's the story of inventions. If you have a budding inventor or engineer on your hand, or someone in STEM classes right now, that's a great title. History, time traveler. This has been a favorite with homeschoolers for years because it can serve as a part of a curriculum for studying history with your students. And what this is a boy who travels through time and goes to visit knights and castles, Viking raiders, Roman Romans, pharaohs and the pyramids, and through time. And every page has these detailed illustrations. Talks about the kinds of people, the food that they ate. It just goes on and on. The wealth of information in this book. And the fun way that it's told, this story, is that you're a time traveler. And so you put on your special helmet and it transports you to these places in history where you get to learn all about them. This is the Viking section. Here's Rome and Romans. It's just really a wonderful book to capture the attention of your older elementary schoolers, and even your middle schoolers will still appreciate this one. All right, speaking of school, computers and coding, I can't say enough about this Lift the Flap book. It is filled with flaps, and I just wanted to show you, it's got flaps everywhere, and it's an overview of computers and coding. Now, if you have a child and you'd like to give them more information about coding, we have another title called Coding from Scratch. So search for that on the website, and you'll be able to choose which of these you think might be most helpful to your child as you're trying to equip them to be successful in the future. Let's talk more about helping our kids with school. Times tables. So I love this flap book. It's a board book cover. It's these nice thick pages, like all of our Lift the Flap books, really thick and sturdy, and it's filled with flaps that reinforce the times tables through 12. And so, like you can see, this is the 2 times, and then this page is the 4 times, and the 5 on that side. And as your child goes through this book, they are reinforcing everything that they are learning at school. And I'm telling you, you don't have to do flashcards to review your math facts anymore. I just hand my child this book, and here you go. And he practices his math facts, and he loves it, and he doesn't even know. Similarly is our little times tables activity book. So this is a little paperback workbook, and it's going to walk your child through all of their times tables. By the time your child is done, has completed this workbook, they will have mastered their times tables because of the fun way these full color pages reinforce all of those facts that they need to have in their memory to be successful in math. It's got stickers in the back that you use on these pages. It's got the big timetable grid square there. This is $9.99, and it's a great investment in just making sure your child can conquer these facts. All right, a few other things. Modified cars. Okay, if you have a boy who hates to read, he just doesn't want to read even if he's in middle school, Modified Cars is a great choice for him because it doesn't have a ton of text in here, but it's got very sophisticated vocabulary because a lot of it's the technical vocabulary about how they modified these cars and the features of these cars. And so your child, boy or girl, is going to flip through this book and be so engaged. If they're a car person, they're going to be interested, but they're going to be spending time reading and learning and soaking up this vocabulary, and that's going to help their brain. They think they're just having fun, and you feel smart because you got them to spend more than half an hour with a book. We have 4 of these, very affordable paperback. I think they're around $6.99. Look up Mean Machines. All right, I want to show you maybe 2 more if we have time. This is Where's Will? We have a ton of Shakespeare. We have an illustrated Shakespeare collection. But if you have a child who loves Shakespeare, or you just want to teach them about Shakespeare, this is a Where's Waldo style book that features 10 of Shakespeare's plays. So not only do you need to find Will Shakespeare, but you also need to find the characters from his plays. So it's a seek and find. Because it's a seek and find, this could be appropriate for almost any age child, but it's great to reinforce if somebody is learning about one of Shakespeare's plays. And every other page tells you in detail the overview of the play, and the characters and the synopsis. So if you're a Shakespeare fan, or you wish your child was a Shakespeare fan, this is a great way to get them drawn into that. Two more things. We have a whole collection of these. I love these books. $5.99, and they're full color. This is brain puzzles. We have logic puzzles. We have math puzzles. And so I take these with me. We have a little bag that we take to like games or when we're in the car. And I just will hand this to one of my kids, and then they'll be quiet or they won't bother me for a little while, you know? And so it's been great. And I feel like they're learning a ton of stuff, whether it's logic or math, and then there's answers in the back. These are great to have. They're great for birthday gifts. $5.99. Look up over 80 brain puzzles. Finally, for older kids, coloring is really in right now, and we have a whole selection of coloring books. This is India Patterns to Color. Not fun. So that's something else that you can check out if you have an older kid. If you need more recommendations, just shoot me a message. I'd love to help. Thanks.